welcome back inside of the Plastic Planet. I'm your host, Nick Nack, hanging out with you guys tonight. Guys, I got a quick Hot Toys unboxing / showcase for you guys. And that, of course, is Jango Fett, fresh off the truck and in my collection right here in the Plastic Planet. So stay tuned for that unboxing. And then after that, gonna have a little bit of some 3 3/4 inch love to show off to you guys. Some new purchases I got from Hasbro 3 3/4 inch, including some of the new retro wave that's come out. So that should be really, really fun as well. All right, guys, let's get on it. Let's get on it right now. It's Star Wars month here on the Plastic Planet, and so it's all Star Wars all the time. All right.
Knickknacks Plastic Planet.
Alrighty, guys, so first and foremost, tonight here is the outside of the box with your standard issue Hot Toys 1/6 scale Star Wars flare there with a little nice little sash that runs around the side there. I'm not going to show you guys much. It's just, that's the fucking box. Let's check out what's inside. Alrighty, always nice to show off the inside artwork there, and Hot Toys doesn't disappoint, I think, on this particular figure with Jango Fett. Looks like something straight out of perhaps Episode 2 on Kamino there, when he's maybe attacking Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's deflecting those laser bolts back at him. Pretty cool. And then, of course, as we proceed onward into the box there is the figure, and I'm really excited about that extra, or that alternative head portrait there with Tamara Morrison. That's going to be really, really awesome. And a number of freaking accessories. I'm going to get some accessory anxiety on this one, of course, because it's got to be any kind of Mandalorian-esque action figure has to have a bazillion accessories like Batman or whatever. But anyway, we'll sort through them and check them out. And all right, let's get on it, guys. Alrighty, guys, well, here is Jango Fett all removed from his packaging with all of his accessories laid out for you guys here on the table. And as you guys can see, he comes with a modest amount of accessories and interchangeable parts. You guys can have a lot of variety in how you display your particular action figure on your shelves. And as you guys can see, he comes with 2 different jetpacks, which is kind of nice, from various points in the film Attack of the Clones. I believe this is the one he had when he was on Kamino battling Obi-Wan because of the rocket. And then, of course, this one is the one where that ultimately malfunctioned on him, leading to his demise. Spoiler alert there, on Geonosis. So that's kind of cool. He has 2 different interchangeable helmet domes, basically. This one happens to have a dent on it, so some battle damage there for you. Kind of cool. Some various flame effects. I'll get my hand out of the shot. There is the alternative portrait of Tamara Morrison, young Tamara Morrison. We're kind of used to seeing Tamara Morrison now in Book of Boba Fett, obviously much older. But that is a young Tamara Morrison there as Jango Fett in Episode 2. And he also comes with a headset, so he would have him piloting Slave 1, potentially, I suppose. Comes with his 2 iconic hand blasters there, a flamethrower effect, and some various gauntlets and things like that. Some hand swap outs, and again, another type of, I believe this would go as a blast effect for his jetpack, I think. And then he has the dynamic stand accessory, so you can have him in a flight pose. However, there doesn't seem to be just a normal crotch grabber stand stem, so you could just have him standing on his stand, which is probably how I'll have him displayed. That's a little disappointing. This is the second time or third time I've noticed Hot Toys doing that. I'm cool with the flight stand, don't get me wrong, it's cool, but I'd really like to have that standard crotch grabber, just to have him displayed, standing, in sort of a candid pose, as opposed to some actiony flight pose, which is also cool. But anyway, and I find the waist grabbers to be a bit disruptive to the action figure, especially when he has belts and all that kind of shit, holsters and stuff. So anyway, that's a little bit of a mild gripe, but not a big one. Anyway, let's check him out a little further, shall we? All right, let's do it. Alright, guys, so excuse the rather static pose on this one. This sort of accessory, in my opinion, it kind of needed more of a dynamic pose for it, but just for the purpose of showing you guys tonight, that dueling blast effect is in fact for the jetpack, but it is actually for the rocket effect on the jetpack with the rocket, with the firing rocket on it. So that is what that is for, which is kind of neat if you ask me. Again, you'd have to have him in some kind of really dynamic pose to pull this off. Just having him like standing still makes him look like he's working for NASA or something. He needs to be looking like he's actually launching that at something or somebody. But anyway, yeah, kind of neat. Alrighty, so next, the flamethrower accessory. If you carefully remove this little teeny tiny nozzle from this gauntlet here, you can attach the flamethrower or the flame effect to the flamethrower gauntlet, and it looks pretty cool. I have him now in a flying pose here on that dynamic flight stand, which is really, again, it's really cool if that's how you want to display your figure. I'm just kind of irked that, once again, they don't give us that choice and provide a regular crotch grabbing stand with this figure as well for the price point. They really should. It's really nothing, cost them nothing to do that, or very little anyway. As you guys can see, I have the rocket blast effects on the jetpack as well, and I kind of put the hip grabber kind of grabbing more of his ass as opposed to his midsection, so it doesn't disrupt that belt. I don't know if that's the right way to go about doing it. I still don't like the way like that hugs into his holster there. I wouldn't want to display this figure like that long term. I just wouldn't, man. It just feels like that might wear on that a little bit. But anyway, yeah, it looks really cool though. At least, just to kind of check it out here in the video. Yeah, I like that a lot. So that's the most dynamic flight pose or dynamic actiony pose I might get him in tonight. But I think it looks pretty cool. Check it out. I have removed this standard hook, or the standard hook gauntlet piece or gauntlet extension, and put on the more gnarly grappling hook extension onto his gauntlet with the hydraulic hoses or whatever they are. Again, they just fit really nicely up into his sleeve, so that looks pretty damn cool. So that's a little more gnarly there, like when he's like fighting Obi-Wan on Kamino there, and he's kind of climbing around on the dome shape buildings of Kamino, digging those in there so he doesn't fall into the ocean. So that's pretty damn cool. So yeah, pretty cool. And then I think we can, if we just take that piece off, we can attach this deployed grappling hook as well. Yep, so sure as shit. Of course, it's not going to focus very well for us, but that is the deployed grappling hook there. Again, that's a terrible stationary pose for something like that. That sort of action feature requires an actiony dynamic pose with the figure, I think, but we're not going to do that tonight. But anyway, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll ever use this accessory, but it's cool. It came with it, I guess. Alrighty, guys, so let's go back to that dome-headed swap-out feature real fast. Now I have the battle damaged version on there right now, and check this out. This is just so easy to do. There's a nice little magnet in there, and it literally just pops out. And then, we can put the other version on it and make sure those arrows are in the front. But, yeah, they just pop right in. Yeah, really nice. It'd be nice if we had a fucking crotch grabber stand, just saying. Oh, yeah, so figure's fine, guys, don't worry. But, yeah, so anyway, that's a nice feature there to swap out the top of his head with those nice magnets. I mean, magnets are your friend. I really appreciate magnets in my action figures. And, and not that I know shit about product design, but I just tell you, as a consumer, I love magnets. Alright, and just to change things up here, there he is, just a simple man trying to make his way through the galaxy there, and he's got his nice warmy poncho on, which is actually kind of a nice poncho accessory. It has two snaps on both sides of it, so it fits real snug around the action figure's body, and has a nice under wire here along the edges, so you can kind of pose the poncho with the figure, and it kind of flows with the figure and whatever type of pose you happen to have it in. So that looks really nice. And as you guys can see, the face sculpt for Tamara Morrison on this piece, I think for the young Tamara Morrison, looks really good. I like it a lot. I think it's pretty close to Tamara Morrison back in the day. And yeah, looks really good. And just in case you wanted to have him posed up as if he was trying to dispatch Obi-Wan in the asteroid rings of Geonosis.
He doesn't seem to take a hint, this guy.
There he is with his pilot headset on to Slave One, looking really cool, and that's a nice feature. It just slips. It slips right over his head, really nice. You just pull those headset pieces out a little bit, and it slides right onto his head. Very nice. Low stress accessory to take on and off, which I appreciate. So one more note, guys, as I'm kind of playing with him, and I do have that secondary jetpack on him now, the one he wore, I believe, on Geonosis, that malfunctioned, and ultimately led to his decapitation. But anyway, one more note of just sort of observation here, at least with my figure, and this might be more about my skills as a poser, so to speak, than maybe the figure itself. But I'm finding this figure to be pretty rigid, and I don't want to force the joints and whatnot, especially with his armor, into any kind of compromising position that might cause some breakage. So I'm unable to get this guy into any kind of real dynamic poses. You may have better luck, and you may be more skilled than I am, but that's just my personal observation for what it's worth. Anyway. Alrighty guys, and finally this is probably how I'm going to have him displayed on my shelves, at least for the time being. Sort of a candid pose, really. Just kind of wanted to really really display that Tamara Morrison likeness. I kind of dig that a lot. And especially with the coming Book of Boba Fett figure I plan on ordering with the throne, I think having the compare and contrast between Tamara Morrison as Boba Fett and Tamara Morrison as the original Jango Fett back in the day, it's kind of cool. And so, yeah, so this is sort of how I plan on having him pose for now. Overall impressions of the figure, it's a little stiff, it's a little rigid, a little hard to get into poses if you're really wanting to go for a dynamic pose. Again, you might be a much more talented poser than I am, and maybe not. But anyway, I think that's a bit of a problem. And also, the figure itself would really, really benefit from having a crotch grabber stand, just so I can have him safely standing like this. I think I have an extra one lying around somewhere, but I shouldn't have to do that, Hot Toys. But again, overall, pretty happy, pretty pleased. It looks pretty damn good. So yeah, it's cool. Alrighty guys, well check it out, man. I got almost the entire newest wave of the Kenner Retro collection that was all focused on The Mandalorian, I believe season 2 of The Mandalorian. Fairly well represented here. I didn't pick up the Bo-Katan. That was the one I left on the shelf, but I might pick her up later. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, these are really cool. I'm digging them a lot. Packaging's cool. Can't shake a stick at how cool original Kenner packaging is. Although maybe they could, fucking give it a rest to the worn look on the edges, the faux frayed edges on these things. We all know they're not real, dude. We all know they're not old vintage Kenner figures from 1983. Give it a break. Give it a break, Hasbro. But other than that, doesn't really matter because we're going to open them up. So, yeah, let's do it right now. Let's open this shit up. Alrighty, guys. First up tonight, we got the Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin there in his upgraded Beskar armor. He's leaning against my 1995. That's a 2004 re-release. Vintage original Trilogy collection, Millennium Falcon. But anyway, as he's leaning up against that, let's open this shit up. Yeah, let's take a look. Alrighty, guys. Well, here is Din Djarin with his upgraded Beskar armor, all removed from his packaging there with his Disruptor rifle and standard issue blaster that he comes with. This particular Din Djarin retro collection figure comes with a soft goods cape as opposed to the first one they came out with his original Beskar armor that came with a vinyl cape. I certainly don't mind a vinyl cape with vintage stylization, but soft goods certainly have their place as well in that collection, so I don't mind him having a soft goods cape. In this particular version, I think it looks really, really nice and really, really cool. And so, yeah, that's a really, really good-looking figure. And just for a little bit of compare and contrast, let's check him out with the first Din Djarin that came out in the Vintage Retro collection. All right, and there he is again with that original Din Djarin that came out about a year ago in the Retro collection from Hasbro/Kenner. So, yeah, these two look really, really great together. And, yeah, there's a little bit of a difference there. But they certainly are awesome together. So, fantastic. Alrighty, guys. Well, next up, let's take a look at the vintage stylized version of live-action Ahsoka, which, of course, was played by Rosario Dawson. So, yeah, let's get her out of the package and check her out. Alrighty, and there she is all removed from her packaging there with her two white lightsabers, which, again, have that distinct vintage feel to them as far as her accessories go. And the figure itself, absolutely fantastic. It's what she would look like if they happen to bring out a figure of her, back in 1982 or whenever. So, yeah, I love this figure a lot. She's really, really cool. And, yeah, they nailed it. I don't know what else to say, man. It's a nice figure. Alrighty, guys, coming up next, I got the Imperial Death Trooper, and it's a good thing I'm opening him because the box looks like shit, or the card looks like shit, and it's all crinkled and stuff. Found him that way at Target, so, yeah, nicely done, Target. But it's really nice to find these things at retail and only pay $10 for them. Not that that's cheap, but, these should be $6 action figures, come on. But anyway, yeah, I mean, $10 is $10. It's a lot better than spending 14 and 15, 16 as I've spent on some of these, so, I guess I shouldn't complain too much, but, yeah. Anyway, let's get this shit out. Alrighty, there's the Imperial Death Trooper all removed from his packaging. I love the green eyes and the green, like, breather intakes there on his helmet. Looking really, really cool. And, yeah, the gun's really cool. It sort of has looks a little bit like an extended vintage Stormtrooper blaster. And it's pretty wicked. And he's got some cool rad gauntlets on the side of him, too. And I like he's a little taller and a little bit more menacing than your standard Imperial Stormtrooper. Yeah, he looks cool. And there's a nice little compare and contrast with an original vintage Stormtrooper. Kind of cool. Alright guys, and finally I was so excited I just started opening them up before I realized I hadn't taken a nice little video of the packaging yet. Anyway, it's Boba Fett from The Mandalorian. This is the one I'm really excited about. This one looks really cool. Oh yeah, so there is Mandalorian Retro Collection Boba Fett removed from the packaging, and he looks really, really cool. That is a rad looking figure, if I don't say so myself. Yeah, he looks cool. This is definitely my favorite of all of the ones that I've unboxed tonight. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It just looks really, really good. And just for the sake of compare and contrast, here he is with my legit vintage Boba Fett figure. So, really cool, man. Digging both of these guys a lot. And real fast, everybody together. Why not?